We are here bang in the heart of San Francisco. This is the Uber building. And you think you knew everything about Uber, what it's all about? Well, let me tell you, this is also what Uber's about. This is the future of Uber. Jump bikes. Ajay, you're a San Francisco Valley man. Tell us what this is.
Just like we have car sharing, this
Right.
is bike sharing.
Okay, bike sharing, right.
So you reserve a bike, you first discover a bike
Just let's have a look. How do you...
using a companion app which is Jump.
Uh-huh.
You discover the bikes around you.
So these are all the bikes in San Francisco.
Right.
Okay.
We are standing here.
Right there, okay.
So this is a bike.
That's this guy.
05006.
0506, okay.
We can choose to reserve this bike, confirm,
Okay. Please wait, we're booking your bike.
and now it will ask me to put my PIN code there.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah. Come and see the pin code here. It says enter pin code.
now we remove the bar.
Okay.
And
And
the
this
bike is yours.
This is by the government. This anybody can put any
This is
bike.
by the
So
municipality.
Uber has bought this bike for how much?
200 million.
Oh, bike costing 200 million, not bad. The
Yes.
bike company. And it says here, $2 for 30 minutes. For 30
Yes.
minutes, you pay $2.
Right. So it's really easy. It's for the first mile, last mile, short rides.
Right.
Yeah.
Say from the metro station to your office
Right.
or to your home, etc. And how do they know whether you've gone 30 minutes or 1 hour?
The app
When
is
you-
tracking it,
Oh,
so you can see how much time you have done.
okay. We've done 1 minute. And when you put that back, that's finished, is it?
So to finish your ride, you got to dock it back. And once you dock it back and lock it, that's when the trip is finished. Otherwise, you're paying by the minute.
Okay. And one more thing. There's some air assist or something special about these
It's
bikes?
called tail assist. So
Tail
as you
assist.
paddle,
Yeah.
there's an electric motor that gives you a little bit of tailwind. And you can also accelerate. You can change the gear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a bar there. I'll see you guys later. I'm off to the bar, man. Ooh, and it goes really fast. Ooh. It goes so easily, so fast, even on a windy day like this. At least proves I don't have a toupee, right? Okay. Okay, now let's go into Uber. Dara, thank you very much for joining us. It's really inspiring to be here.
Happy to
with
have you.
It's really great, and I don't know how you spare the time because you actually don't have much to do, right? So you can spare the time.
I've been a little bit
A
busy
little bit?
lately, but
Just
we
a little.
wanted to have you here because certainly the Indian market's a super, super important market for us. And it's great to have you here in the headquarters where it all happens.
Yeah, actually, I've just been noticing that that's quite the workplace, the work atmosphere is so good here, and there are a lot of Indians, and they're working hard. Now, to get an Indian to work hard, I don't know how you do it. How do you manage that?
Indians actually work hard.
They do
But
actually,
the great
yes.
thing about the employees that we have here, the engineers or product people, is that they're building products that are changing the face of urban mobility 5 to 10 years from now. And that's great motivation.
Yeah, it really is changing the world, and I must tell you a story. We have a very good car and bike show, and a very really popular anchor. And he walked into my room the other day and said, "I got a problem. Youngsters are not watching my show." So I said, "Why?" He said, "They don't want to buy a car. They don't want to learn to drive. They're using Uber."
It's a beautiful thing.
Because Uber is freedom. In our generation, a car was freedom.
Yes.
Now a car is a millstone around your neck, and Uber's freedom.
Mobility
Yes,
for us
yes.
is about opportunity. And I think in general, this new generation that we have is moving from stuff and ownership to experiences. And I think that Uber, travel, etc., life I think is about experiences, and the ownership of things isn't what it used to
It's
be.
not-
You're right, it is a millstone. It keeps you grounded versus freeing you up.
I have to look after it. I have to.
Yeah.
Where do I park? All that stuff in Uber just solves
With
it.
Uber, you push a button, you go, and then you're done.
It's just amazing.
Hopefully
It's
you tip your
life-changing.
driver. That's very important. But
Yes.
you can be done.
Yeah, and
Are you a user of Uber?
all the time,
Thank you very
here
much.
and in India, all
Really
the time.
appreciate it.
But when it's amazing, and you have lots of floors like this, and when you took over a company in a crisis.
Yes. Yes.
What was it like when you? What was the underlying problem?
Well, the underlying problem with the company was this is one of the fastest growing companies in the history of technology, in the history in the history of business. And what I found with people, and it's true with companies, that every superpower comes with a weakness. And the superpower of the company was growth, 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 and sometimes it was growth at all costs.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
some of the trade-offs that the company made in order to achieve growth were not the kinds of trade-offs that you should make. Didn't make sense for certain cities. We broke some rules. And I think once you get to a certain scale, there's a different kind of leadership required, which is it's responsible growth. It's growth in partnership.
Responsible growth.
With,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and sometimes responsible growth, it takes a little longer. You've got to negotiate. You have to think about your whole environment, but that kind of growth is more lasting.
I think sorry, go ahead.
And it's a bit more of maturity, and we want to keep the go, go, go. Let's get it done yesterday. We want to keep what brought us here.
The hunger and the
Absolutely.
But you want a heart as well.
Exactly right.
Yes, yes,
exactly right.
I mean, somebody put it to me is that, and it is not only at Uber, it's a little bit in the valley. The difference between can and should is mixed up.
Yes.
What I should do, if I can do it, just do it. Not whether I should or not. Right?
Absolutely. And it's the head and the heart. I've always said that the most important decisions that I've made in my life, I've made when the head and the heart have agreed.
Right,
Sometimes if you decide just with the head, it's not the right thing to do. And sometimes if you just decide with the heart, it could be gambling. Oh, I just feel something, let me do it.
Right.
It's the head and the heart coming together, and hopefully we can be that kind of a company. The smarts of our developers, our product people, but with moral authority, with heart, so that we're always doing the right thing.
And do you feel a change happening? Do you feel you can inculcate the change? Or you've had to take some very tough decisions, right?
We have, but the change is happening, and I think what was interesting about this company is people come here to change the world.
Yeah.
People come here because this idea of making mobility available to everybody, and also this idea of creating this new way of work. 3 million driver partners who can be entrepreneurs. This is really making the world a better place, and I think people have been incredibly passionate about that mission. And I think folks knew that the company was moving in the wrong direction.
They felt it. I think there was an underlying feeling.
They did, and the perception of the company from the outside was very different than the heart of the folks here, and the company needed new leadership. And I think we're off to a good start.
I mean, from all reports you are, but what remains now? What are like one or two key things that you feel the time now has come to make those changes as well?
Well, I think that for us, one key change for us is to think about our mission beyond just cars. The fact is that 50% of the world's population live in cities. That's going to be 2/3 of the world's population in 30 years. Oof. And if all we're doing is putting more cars on the road, we're not serving our cities well. So we're now thinking about Uber as a mobility platform. We want you to come to Uber, we'll get you a car, we'll encourage you to share. Hopefully we will get you an electronic vehicle, but we're also about bikes.
But one of the problems in the world today, I will give you a bit of similarity about NDTV and changing the world. When anybody comes to join NDTV as a job, and we ask them, why do you want to join? If they want to be an anchor, I want to be we say, no, you're not for us. The ones who come and say, we want to make a difference to society and change things out there, that's what you want as well.
That's what you want. That's the when I talk with young engineers or folks who want career advice, I always say, look for three things. One is look for smart people to work with or people that you respect, because you want to work with folks that you like. You want to work with folks that you respect and you can learn from.
Right.
Second is go to a place where you as an individual can make a difference. You know, you want your work to make a difference. And the third is go to a place that's making a difference in the world.
Exactly.
And if you can solve those three things, great people to work with, you can make a difference, and it's a company that's making a difference in the world.
Yeah, those 3 points
that's a recipe for happiness.
Perfect. But one of the big problems, we were meant to meet in Davos, and you would have noticed an underlying theme in Davos this time was kind of global trust deficit.
Yes, absolutely.
Nobody trusts media, nobody trusts social media, companies don't trust each other. It's just a trust deficit. How do you manage, especially with something like, say, carpooling? It's a very tricky thing to do in a trust deficit world.
It is.
You know?
We are, so I'd say there are two factors. One is from a corporate standpoint. I think that we live in a world of transparency now.
Yes.
The truth is going to come out one way or the other, and I think that there are companies who
you
can
may get
resist
several stages
that.
of fake news, but you'll eventually get the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's transparent.
We are engaging with transparency, and as a company, for example, we're giving our data to cities on traffic flow so that we can actually help them going forward. The second for us on the trust standpoint is our number one priority as a company this year is what we call standing for safety. Because
that's very interesting.
The technology companies who built platforms, and we're building a transportation platform, built it in an idealistic way, saying, well, if we build a platform, we're not responsible for the content on the platform. All we are is building a platform. Then people, work on the content. That doesn't work any longer, right?
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah.
The content on the platform are the driver partners. Are they safe? What's their background? Are they good drivers?
Right.
We're really investing in background checks, et cetera, and safety.
I was going to ask you about that. Wow.
Absolutely. And for example, in the US, and we'll launch this globally, we have a button on the app where if you're in trouble, it's a 911 button. You click on the button and instantly your location is sent to a center, so that your location is sent, the license plate of the car sent, et cetera. These are big investments that we're making in safety so that we can get trust back.
Would that be in India as well?
It's something that we will look to roll out in India as well.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
that is one of the issues in India. The image. I'm going to be kind to you by comparing you to a whale, a shark. No.
I don't know where this is going.
Sharks kill 6 people in the world a year. But every time they kill one, it's huge news.
Yes.
So like when Uber, there's a safety problem, it's like huge.
It is.
Well,
it is.
Frankly, if it happens with a cab, you don't even hear about it. It's not news. So you have that problem. You have the shark problem.
We do, and that's not going to change. And I think
because that's success, part of success.
It is, and success comes with good and comes with bad.
Yes.
And when you do 15 million trips a day, which is what we're doing on Uber on a global basis, you become a reflection of society.
Yeah.
And that comes with a lot of good, and the vast majority good, and some bad. And we have to recognize that, and I think we can use technology to help. And we can use technology to potentially identify bad actors, or for example, drivers who are driving too fast. There's a lot that we can do to bring data to bear to make our platform a better place, a safer place, and make the world a better place as a result. And we're just getting started.
I mean, it's amazing if you're saying you're just getting started, because it's had such a huge impact. And as I remember you saying once, one of the most impressive things about Uber is that it's a verb.
Yes.
That really got you.
Absolutely.
And
One of my father's advice was, when you get to run a company that's become a verb, you say yes.
Yes, wow, that's amazing. And I hate to say it, it reflects part of the world that you and I come from, where fathers matter.
Absolutely. Fathers matter, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mothers matter as well.
Of course, yeah. Sometimes in India, mothers are like more important than fathers, but whatever it is.
I would say in
both.
Iran, it's the same thing.
Same thing,
yes, the mothers rule the roost.
Yeah. And even today, your boss is really...
Really my wife now.
100%. 100%. No question about it. One of the things that you are also, I'm just talking about the challenges you're facing, is this antagonistic relationship with cities. They say, oh, you're increasing traffic, oh. Deep down, the citizens love you, but how are you handling that?
We're handling by engagement with the cities and really rebuilding the relationship and the partnership. The fact is that
Which
we
you
grew
were
too
not doing
fast.
much earlier.
We weren't. And I think that we viewed early on regulation as a bad thing. But the fact is that we get to drive on the streets of the cities. We're the guests of the cities when we enter those cities. And while heavy regulation isn't necessarily a good thing, dialogue is important. And where there's regulation, we have to abide by the rules. But we also want to have a dialogue so that we can really understand what's the right regulatory framework going forward. So we are making the investments in the relationships with the cities.
Like say London,
absolutely,
that was a real crisis there.
Yeah, we're having dialogue with London, and I was in Paris last week. So this comes with investment of time, being open, being transparent. And for example, we do have a initiative called Movement where we offer our data to cities so that they can improve traffic flows, and I know that's something.
So it's a kind of partnership.
Absolutely,
you want to be in.
we can use our data to make cities better, and we're investing. It is a different view. It is a different view.
It's a major positive, I think.
It is a different, and we're investing hundreds of millions of dollars in building out Pool, which is a product where more than one passenger gets in a car. Socially, I think some people are
a bit worried about the other passenger and the trust deficit point.
I think they are, but technology can solve that, or maybe you get to see who the other passenger is. There are a lot of potential solves here.
Yes.
The problem is real, but the fact is we are investing hundreds of millions of dollars to solve a problem that will help traffic flows in cities.
Right.
Bikes is another solution to that, and the big solution, and this is a big, long-term one, is ultimately taking to the sky.
Flying
and those
taxis,
are investments that we're making.
I mean, everything's fine, but I think at certain points people say, are you crazy? Flying taxis?
You have to be a little crazy to innovate. But with these flying taxis, what you've seen in cities all over the world is that residential has gone into 3 dimensions. You see these incredible, by the way, that's one of our flying taxis that you see over there. It's a pretty cool, this is actually Gen 1, I think. I can also show you Gen 2 if you like. The generations keep changing.
Wow.
But cities, residential construction is going 3-dimensional, right? These incredible high-rises. Commercial has gone 3-dimensional. But the transport grid is largely 2-dimensional.
Absolutely
and
right.
I think you need to build a 3rd dimension in order for the transport grid to keep up with how people are going to live and work, and that's what Elevate is about. It is a little crazy, yes it is, but it's the innovators who early on argued as crazy.
Somebody at Uber met Travis earlier, they said, are you crazy, you're going to do this, you must be mad, but he did it. So
and what's
you give him a lot of credit still. I mean, I know there are...
Absolutely. Yeah. Travis created an extraordinary company. He scaled it at a level that I think no one else could. And now the company is at a different stage, but you have to give credit where credit is due. He was an extraordinary entrepreneur.
Right. Now you've been to India recently, and don't be too diplomatic. What did you like, and especially what did you not like about India? That you'll tell me off the record.
What I loved about India is the entrepreneurship and the growth mindset. This is an economy that's going to be an enormous economy. I think Modi and team are, they want to be, they want to have India assume its rightful place on the globe, and you feel ambition everywhere. I think that where India, my observation is that you've got to match the ambition with organization. And some of the structures and infrastructure work is behind the society, and that's something that I think is, you have to work on.
One of in fact, I'll tell you, when we get a lot of trainers coming to NDTV from all over the world, top trainers, and they train many countries, and they all say one thing: the kids here are the finest kids that we ever train. They're inquisitive, they're hungry, they're entrepreneurial, and it really makes you feel good. So our generation has given your generation pollution, corruption. You better now change all that.
We're working on it. It's interesting what you say about the youth. We're actually, in India, we're not only investing in the business itself, in the Uber business, but we're really doubling down in terms of technology talent in India.
Okay,
We have
yeah.
2 dev centers. We're going to double, triple, quadruple the number of engineers that we see in India, because actually the education system in India is very strong. The technical talent is strong, and this new generation is educated and hardworking, and we want to pull and be a part of that talent base. So there's a big
So
investment
you
going in
recognize
people.
the entrepreneurial and the IQ levels of these Indians.
I think the IQ levels, the technical talent, along with kind of this entrepreneurial edge, which is very, very present and part of
Very
our
much.
spirit here.
Yep, absolutely, actually. So
And,
now,
and I think the other interesting factor with India is that India, on a product basis, can be a gateway to much of the developing world. The Indian customer is a tough customer. The Indian
very
customer
price
is
sensitive, very quality sensitive.
exactly.
Yeah,
So they're price sensitive and they want the best service out there.
Yeah.
So for us, to some extent, we want the engineers on the ground, because only if you're in India, can you really build a great product for India. And that great product, we think, will travel into Latin America, will travel into Africa, etc. So we kind of view India as a bit of an innovation gateway for us into the developing world. It's
Very
not just
interesting,
about India
Very
for us.
interesting. Actually, Bill, I know, for example, browsers. There is a browser which is beating all the well-known browsers. It's got 60% of the market. Why? Because it's light.
Yes.
And people
yes.
have very little bandwidth. They don't have much budgets, so they've gone for that.
You will see exactly. You should be on a product team, because there's a version of Uber
So I
coming
don't mind
out.
being, as long as they do exactly the opposite of whatever I say. that works. Let me tell you.
In this case, you will see a version of Uber coming out which will be much lighter, and it's built for India.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow, and
on
that can
path.
be around Africa and South America, Southeast Asia, everywhere.
First market is India,
And then-
India will be that staging ground for us, and then we'll launch into other markets as well.
Wow. So now you're out of China, out of Indonesia, but you bought into Brazil.
Yes.
Are you going to buy into India or get out of India? Or neither?
Oh, we're buying into India.
You're buying
we're
into
buying
India.
into India.
Not
Part
getting
of the
out.
reason, no, absolutely not. Part of the reason why we got out of Indonesia is because we didn't want to be spread too thin.
Okay.
And
okay.
you have to decide as a company what you're going to be good at, where your bets are, and where you're not going to bet. And in Indonesia, we thought that we would bet on Anthony Tan, a terrific entrepreneur, and
Yes.
merge our business
Yes.
with him. We want to win in India. India is an extraordinarily important strategic market for us on a global basis. Our moving out of Indonesia allows us to lean in more aggressively into India, which is one of the really important reasons why we made that move.
So I have nothing but admiration for your CEO in India, because he is battered.
Amit is
You know?
terrific, yes.
Yeah, he
yes.
is. Amit, but I mean, I don't think anywhere in the world will you get battered so much. Your image for safety has been battered. There is something that is hurting Uber about the safety image for women in particular, and part of it was Travis's problem and the way he treated, or his team treated, a lady who was
Yes,
molested.
yes.
But how are you going to tackle that? Are you going to introduce new safety measures, technology to help? What sort of stuff?
I think what happened there was very unfortunate. It was before my time, and it was
Yes.
inexcusable.
Yes.
What I can control is what we do going forward.
Yes. That's exactly
And
what.
on the safety front, we are going to be totally transparent, and we're making real investments in our product in terms of safety buttons, background checks, etc., in order to fundamentally and significantly improve the safety of our platform in India. We're committed to it. It takes work. It's not words don't help.
No. You're
Actions
absolutely-
help.
Yes.
And right
exactly.
now, we're working on the product to get us there, but we're very much focused on it.
One of the things in India, which I don't know, you read stuff. Some of it is fake news, some of it is opinion, some of it is
There's
motivated.
fake news in India too?
No,
I
no,
thought
no.
it was
We-
an
everything
American
are-
thing.
No, I think we originated it actually. Not NDTV, but No, it's everywhere, unfortunately. That's part of the dangers of social media. But one of the issues that you don't do enough background checks in India. How is that going to change of the drivers?
We are systematizing our background checks and building out technology to make sure that we can be entirely comfortable that if you are a driver partner who comes on our platform, you belong on that platform and you've been checked out.
Okay, there is going to be checks because earlier they were not enough. Again, it's that can and should. You can get a driver, get in, but whether you should check him out, don't do a minor check.
We will make sure that you're being checked out if you're coming onto
That's
the Uber
really
platform.
important to hear. And women drivers?
We want more women drivers. Yeah, it's if you think about Uber, one of the potential growth avenues for Uber, it is getting more drivers because the demand for our service continues to increase. And we very much want more women drivers because the great thing about being a driver partner is you're your own boss.
Yep.
You choose your own hours, and a woman who potentially is raising a family, who wants some more income, it's a great job for them.
The number of people who've improved their lifestyle because of Uber, just in their spare time, and when there's problems of employment in a country, it's great.
It is.
Great to have Uber. It's
Now, I would say one of the regulatory issues as it relates to India is that the cars that can drive on Uber and or Ola need to have dedicated license plates. So that pushes you towards full time. And I think where you miss out is exactly where you're saying a mother who wants to. Well, I think it's an understandable regulation, but these are the dialogues that we want to have because ultimately,
it's a very important point.
Yes,
actually.
and some of these cars, the more you increase the utilization of the cars on the road in India, you can be more efficient in terms of traffic flow, and you create an opportunity, a societal earning opportunity for women, for example, which I think can be a real positive. These are the discussions that we want to have with local folks.
Yeah, and I must say, I hate to admit it, but women in India are much better than the men. Much better. And I'm not just saying this for television. They are more competent. They've got to where they are after much more struggle. So they've already cracked it, And men are sort of walking in. So tell me, sort of coming towards the final parts of this, because you're slightly busy, I think, as you said. Tell me about yourself. From when you were born to now, you can take another hour for that.
The short story is I was born in Iran.
Yes,
we were very wealthy family. We had a family business in Iran. We all lived together. Family was everything for me growing up.
Of course, yes.
And in 1978, you had the Iranian Revolution where the Islamic Revolution happened.
Yes.
I
was there just before that as a hitchhiker, yes.
Wow. And when you're in the middle of something like that, you never actually understand what's happening. And so we actually said, let's leave for France until things calm down. Things have never calmed down.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And my family lost everything. We came to America to stay with my uncle, who had us stay with him.
In this area, California?
Actually, in New York,
in
upstate
New
York.
Oh, lovely.
And we had to rebuild everything. And it's myself and my two brothers, my mom and dad. My father went back to Iran for a couple of years, and actually he couldn't leave. So it was really my mother who raised myself and my brothers when I was a teenager.
Yeah. So
and
you've had a strict upbringing. That mothers fix you.
Strong. I meant it when I said that the women ruled the roost. I studied to be an engineer at college because for an Iranian family, you either have to be a doctor or an engineer.
Welcome
I think
to
that's
exactly
similar to an Indian.
Shocking, yes.
Of course, I fell in love with a girl, and I moved to New York to become an investment banker just because I was following my heart.
Okay.
And slowly but surely, I made my way from investment banking to mergers and acquisitions to being a CFO of a large conglomerate. And then my last job that really prepared me for this one is running Expedia, which was an online travel company. We have an India presence. 13 years. 13 years. Wow. I work for Barry Diller, who's my mentor. He's a great chairman and incredible person.
What in America, what lessons have you learned from this society? I mean, I find this area so positive, but you tell me, what lessons have you learned?
I think the one thing that's clear to me is that Americans don't appreciate what they have. I was lucky enough to come to America when America welcomed immigrants, you know, and it is truly the land of opportunity, and this idea of the American dream. The American dream is the most powerful brand on earth. It's bigger than Google and Apple and Facebook put together, because the American dream suggests that if you work hard, if you respect rule of law, you can make it here, and you have as good a chance to make it as any place else if you really, really put your head down and work. And for me, I'm a product of that American dream, and I hope that we can continue to have this American dream in this kind of complex political landscape, and hopefully, you know, there's an Indian dream as well. But it's a powerful thing, this American dream, and I want to I want to show that, hey, it's possible for anybody.
Yes.
And I want to do everything that I can to help there.
Right. And I do notice one other thing, I don't know if you agree, it's a very positive society in the sense that they look at your positives and say, great, go on, do that. India, and especially Britain, where we've learned a bit from, they look at your negatives and say, oh, your maths better improve, or your art better improve. It's like more of a power thing, but here it's focusing on what's good about you.
One of the lessons that I learned in managing folks, when I was an early manager, I would typically try to change someone's weakness. Hey, here's where you're weak, and change it. And what I learned is you have to play to people's strengths. Everyone who has a superpower has
America.
a weakness. Work to your superpower,
Strengths.
And I think what you're saying is
Yeah,
America
very true.
works to people's superpower, which I think is a great positive way of looking at life.
Tell us a fun fact about Dara that nobody knows.
You know,
maybe
the fun
your
fact,
mother or your brothers and sisters.
my mother certainly knows, is that I am a complete closet geek. I was a Dungeons and Dragons nerd who played these imaginary games with my friends. I was the dungeon master, and we would build these imaginary world and roll dice and wear costumes.
Wow.
So
You're still doing that, right?
You know, once in a while if I could. But I'm in this great place, but deep down inside, I'm still the geek that I always was.
So last minute on looking at the future. Are you serious about flying taxis? Are you serious about bikes? Are you serious about carpooling?
We're
you're doing all this,
serious.
so you're serious?
We want to be.
You're definitely a geek.
We want to be
You have some problem. No, I'm just kidding.
We want to be the A to B platform for transportation on Earth. We want to be
Transportation
the place. Transportation. If you want to get from one place to the other, we want to solve that for you in a way that's based on real-time information, that's 100% accurate, and it's all possible with a push of a button. Simple, delightful, easy, any way for you to get around. And ultimately for us, mobility and transportation is about freedom and opportunity, which is why we're so excited about
You're
this
so
mission.
bloody fit. How do you do Uber Eats then? How did you get it? That's also doing well, right?
It's doing.
You try to avoid Uber Eats.
Yeah, exactly. Uber Eats is our fastest growing segment right now. It's extraordinary how quickly it's growing, and really all over the world.
So last question, a future plan, dream you have, which nobody else knows, but you're about to tell the world.
You know, my personal dream after I accomplish what I accomplish here is really to travel the world. I'm still a travel geek.
Really?
I love.
Wow.
I didn't get to travel much as a kid.
Okay, yes.
And coming from a society like Iran and then being an immigrant here, you know, I haven't traveled enough, and that's certainly something that I want to make up for.
I feel you're quite an emotional person.
I can be. I've been known to cry during commercials, which is really bad.
That's really the rock bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
So if your mom and dad walked up just now, what would you say to them? Give them a hug.
My dad would say, I think my dad would say he's proud of me. And that could put a tear in my eye.
Yeah. And what would you say to him?
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. They made this all possible for me.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
God give you strength.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for the visit.
It was wonderful. Thank you.